You flip on a flashlight and watch the beam cut through the dark. You look up and see starlight that took millions of years to get here. It makes sense. Light is on a long journey, zooming across the vast emptiness of space just to reach your eyes. That is how it works, right? Wrong. Tonight, we are not going to look at light the way humans do. We are going to look at the universe through the eyes of a single particle of light. And I promise you, your concept of space and time is about to change forever. Think about how we experience the world. When you sit on your front porch waiting for a fresh cup of coffee to cool down, time just ticks by second. When you drive down a long, dusty stretch of highway, like Route 66, watching the miles slowly roll past your window, you feel the distance. You physically feel the time it takes to get from point A to point B. It is deeply baked into our biology. We are slow, heavy creatures moving through a vast world. So, naturally, when we look up at the night sky, or even just at a street lamp flickering on at the end of your block, we project our own slow perspective onto the universe. We think of light as a traveler. A really, really fast traveler, sure, but still just a traveler. We measure it using our human clocks and our human rulers. We say light zooms through the vacuum of space at roughly 186,000 miles per second. We proudly calculate that it takes a little over 8 minutes for a beam of sunlight to cross the dark, freezing void from the surface of the sun just to warm your face on a quiet morning. 8 whole minutes. It sounds like an epic journey, doesn't it? We imagine that little particle of light leaving the sun, speeding past Mercury, flying past Venus, crossing millions of miles of absolute nothingness, ticking off the seconds on a tiny, invisible watch. That makes perfect sense to our brains. We understand covering distance. We understand time passing, so we assume the speed of light is just the ultimate, extreme version of driving a car down the highway. We think light is just doing exactly what we do, only much, much faster. But we are looking at it all wrong. We are judging the fundamental fabric of reality through the slow, heavy lens of a human body. We are completely trapped in our own biological illusion. To truly understand what light is and what space actually is, you have to completely leave your human intuition behind. That is how you and I see light from the outside. But here is the real question. What if you were that particle of light? What happens to the universe when you actually ride on a beam of light? To answer that, we have to look at the weirdest rule in the universe. You see, we usually think of space and time as completely different things. Space is the empty yard out front, and time is the ticking clock on the wall. But they aren't separate. They are tied together, woven into a single cosmic budget. Imagine you have a fixed amount of motion to spend. Right now, sitting on your porch, not moving through space, you are spending all your motion traveling through time. Your watch ticks normally, second by second, but what if you get up? What if you get in a spaceship and blast off? Here is the insane part. The universe demands a trade. To move faster through space, you have to borrow from your movement through time. It is a strict cosmic exchange rate. The faster you hurtle through space, the slower you move through time. Think about that. If you zoom past me in a ship at 99% the speed of light, and I look through your window, your life looks like it is in slow motion. Your watch is lazy. It is barely ticking. Your seconds are stretching out, squeezing down, freezing. You are literally aging slower than I am because you are trading away your time to pay for your speed through space. But there is a hard limit. You can only borrow so much before the universe cuts you off. So, what happens when you max it out? What happens when you push the pedal all the way to the floor and spend everything, every last drop of your cosmic budget, just on moving through space? What happens when you hit the absolute limit of reality, the speed of light itself? That lazy watch on your wrist? It doesn't just tick slower. It stops entirely. It flatlines. If that watch on your wrist flatlines, what does that actually mean? It means you have zero time. Now, apply that to a photon, a single particle of light. Because a photon is traveling at exactly the speed of light, it spends its entire cosmic budget on moving through space. It has absolutely nothing left over to spend on moving through time. Therefore, for a photon, time simply does not exist. Remember earlier, when we said it takes 8 whole minutes for a beam of sunlight to travel from the surface of the sun to your front porch? That is true for us. We are sitting here, heavy and slow, stuck in our biological rhythm, watching our clocks tick. We wait 8 minutes, but what about the light itself? What is the actual experience of that photon? 0. Not 8 minutes. Not 1 minute. 0 time. From the exact moment that particle of light is born in the raging, roaring nuclear furnace of the sun to the exact moment it crashes into the retina of your eye, not a single microscopic fraction of a second has passed for it. It does not age. It does not get tired. It does not experience a journey. When you look up at the night sky tonight and see the faint glow of a star that is millions of light years away, your human brain tells you that light is ancient. You think it has been flying through the dark, cold void of space since before the dinosaurs walked the earth. But that is just your human clock talking. To that beam of starlight, its violent birth in a distant, exploding galaxy and its quiet death against the lens of your eye happen in the exact same instant. There is no in-between. For light, the universe is a place without a past and without a future. There is only a single, frozen, eternal now. This is the twist that shatters the illusion. We think of light as the ultimate traveler, bravely crossing the vast, empty stretches of the cosmos. But how can you be a traveler if your journey takes literally zero time? How can you travel anywhere if you do not even have a single second to make the trip? You can't. And if light has no time to travel, then we are forced to ask a truly mind-bending question. What happens to the distance? Think about it. How can you cross 93 million miles from the sun to the Earth if you literally do not have a single fraction of a second to make the trip? How do you cover all that distance without any time? You can't. It is impossible. And because it is impossible, something else has to break. If your time drops to absolute zero, the distance has to drop to zero, too. This is the part that will truly break your brain. At the speed of light, space itself shrinks. It compresses. Imagine the universe is a giant, thick book. A distant star is on page 1, and you, sitting here on your porch looking up, are on page 400. For us, moving through that book takes a long time. You have to turn every single page. You have to physically cross the void. But for a particle of light? The speed of light squeezes the universe completely flat. The distance from that exploding star to your front yard simply vanishes. It snaps together. Page 1 and page 400 are suddenly slammed against each other, touching face to face. Space is flattened into a single, incredibly thin sheet of paper. From the perspective of light, there is no journey because there is no space to cross. Not a million miles, not a single inch, zero. The event that created the light, a violent nuclear explosion inside a star, and the event where the light is absorbed by your retina are not two different things separated by a massive, empty universe. For the photon, they are the exact same event. They are physically touching. The star is literally touching your eye. Light does not travel through space. It ignores it completely. So, if light isn't a tiny cosmic bullet flying through the dark, if it doesn't experience time, and if it completely ignores distance, what exactly is it? To understand this, we have to stop thinking of light as a thing that moves. Light isn't an object. Light is a state. It is a direct, intimate relationship between two pieces of matter in the universe. When a star explodes a billion light-years away, an atom in that star violently jiggles. It wiggles with immense, chaotic energy. And because space and time collapse for that specific interaction, that jiggling atom reaches out across the infinite void and literally touches an atom in the back of your eye. It just hands the energy over. Like passing a baton in a relay race where the track has been folded entirely in half. The 2 points snap together. No journey, just an instant transfer of a shiver from one side of the cosmos to the other. This changes everything about how you interact with the world. Tomorrow morning, when you step outside and feel the warmth of the sun on your face, I want you to really think about what is happening. You are not being hit by ancient, tired rays of light that bravely swam across 93 million miles of freezing emptiness. No, the universe is folding itself flat just for you. An atom inside the roaring, blinding furnace of the sun is vibrating. And in the exact same cosmic instant, from its own perspective, it reaches out and directly touches an atom in your skin. It shares its warmth with you. There is no middleman. There is no gap. For that one, beautiful fraction of reality, you and the heart of our star are physically connected. We are taught that the universe is a giant, empty box filled with dead space and lonely rocks. But it isn't. It is a dense, vibrating web of instant connections. Every time you look at a tree growing in your yard, every time you watch a fire burn in the hearth, every time you look up at the scattered stars, you are not looking across a vast, empty distance. You are feeling the universe reaching out and touching you right now, all at once. So the next time you strike a match, or watch a campfire burn down to its glowing red embers, or simply sit on your front porch feeling the morning sun on your skin, I want you to completely forget everything you thought you knew. Do not just see the light. Do not just feel the heat. I want you to feel the reality of what is actually happening around you. You are participating in a cosmic handshake. You are not a lonely observer sitting in a vast, empty void waiting for a tired traveler to arrive. The universe is physically folding space and time into absolutely nothing, just to deliver a tiny, violent vibration from the heart of a star directly into your body. It is an unbroken chain of energy, a direct physical touch bridging the infinite gap. The cosmos is not empty. It is intimately connected, and you are wired right into the center of it. But once you start seeing the world this way, once you realize that light is just the universe handing a baton of energy from one piece of matter to another, it brings up a very strange thought. A beautiful, terrifying thought. If light is just the transfer of that violent jiggling, where did that energy come from to begin with? We said an atom in the sun wiggles with chaotic energy. But why? What exactly is happening deep inside that terrifying, roaring nuclear furnace of our star that forces those atoms to dance so violently? What invisible hand is squeezing that giant ball of gas so hard that it literally has to reach out across millions of miles and touch you just to release the tension? How does a cloud of cold, dead dust floating in the dark silence of space suddenly wake up, ignite, and start burning with enough ferocity to warm a planet and build a tree out of thin air? That is a story about the crushing weight of gravity, the deepest forces of nature, and an entirely different kind of beautiful catastrophe. But that is a different story for another time. For now, the next time you step outside and feel the warmth of the day, just close your eyes and feel the universe reaching out to touch you. I will leave you with that to imagine.